Hey, family. In today's video, I am going to walk you through how to renew your license as an enrolled agent. Okay? If you are an EA, this screen is all too familiar because you had to submit your application for enrollment to practice before the Internal Revenue Service on this page here, Pay.gov. But you have to visit the page again to renew your license so that you can continue in practicing before the Internal Revenue Service. Before we get too deep into it, if you are new to me, my name is Timalyn Bowens and I am America's favorite EA. Being an enrolled agent allows me to represent clients all over the world before the United States Treasury Internal Revenue Service Department. Okay. But I'm also the owner of Bowens Tax Solutions, which is a virtual firm based in Louisville, Kentucky. And we specialize in helping clients that owe $100,000 or more, or they're actively being audited or levied. Right here, I'm going to walk you through the process of renewing the license because I looked up and 3 years flew by. So right now it's 2023, and if your social security number ends in the number 789, or you don't have a social security number, then it is your renewal cycle. All right. So what we need to make sure that we have is 72 hours of continuing education, which is a minimum, but there is a minimum, I should say, of 16 hours per year. And of those 16 each year, at least 2 hours have to be ethics. All right. Now, I wouldn't recommend only getting the 16 a year. I think you should keep it a bit more even, but there's a little bit of wiggle room just in case you can't keep it more even, you get those 16. So here at Pay.gov, this website is actually used to accept a lot of different payments that are required through the government. So what I'm going to do, because see here on the homepage, you can see there's a variety of different things you can pay for. To get to this quickly, what I'm going to do is type in enrolled agent, and then here we are right here. We have form 8554, which is the enrolled agent renewal form, and I'm going to click on continue. Now, they let you know before you begin, these are the things that you are going to need to have with you. All right. I do have a debit card here. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Throughout the process, they let you know what the form is, but you also need to be sure that you're paying attention because there are some things you need to agree to here, all right? So, all enrolled agents must have an active prepared tax identification number. I do have an active one. However, when I get done doing this renewal for my enrolled agent license, I am going to also renew my P10 for 2024. But it is active right now for 2023. During each enrollment cycle, you must complete 72 hours of continuing education credit. Refer to publication 5186 on irs.gov for a chart of CE requirements for new enrollees. All right, so if this is the first time you're renewing, but you just became an enrolled agent in, let's say, January, you're not required to have 72 hours, but there is a certain amount of ethics that you need, and you want to make sure that I think it's 2 a month. No, maybe not even 2 a month. Look, go check out publication 5186 to make sure that you meet the requirements for this calendar year so that you can go ahead and renew. So even if you just became an enrolled agent, you're still going to have to renew if this is your renewal cycle. So the exception, if this is your first renewal, all I had to do is keep reading. You have to complete 2 hours of CE for each month you were enrolled, including 2 hours of ethics each year. All CE hours must be federal tax related and taken from an IRS approved CE provider. Okay. So one of the things that caught me up, I am a lifetime learner. I would read different books, learn from different subject matter experts. All of them were not IRS approved CE providers. So what happened with me in my first year, I learned a whole lot, but it didn't qualify for CE credit. So you want to make sure you have a nice mix. And if you are in question, you can ask whoever you're taking the classes through if they're an authorized CE provider, or you can check out the IRS website, which gives a list of all of the organizations they've authorized to be CE providers, okay? The renewal fee is $140. So we are going to be able to file this form here on Pay.gov, and we're going to also be able to make the payment. The fee is non-refundable, all right? And you have to pay it whether you are able to actually enroll or not, because they still have to process this application. Alrighty, so part one, enrollment status. We have, I want approval for active enrolled agent status. I want approval to remain or be placed into inactive retirement status. So for me, I want approval for active enrolled agent status. All right. Am I currently under suspension or disbarment? No, I am not. Thank goodness. If you want approval for active enrolled agent status, enter the number of federal tax law update, and ethics hours you earned in each year of current enrollment cycle. Check here if you passed the special enrollment exam since your last renewal. So that doesn't apply for me, but like I mentioned, for those people that just got their status this year or last year even, so you didn't do a full 3-year cycle, you would want to click this so it takes into consideration how much CE that you had. All right. So for me, and just in case you don't know, I'm going to go to the P10 site and let me make sure that it followed me when I was sharing. Okay, cool, it did. So here at the online P10 account, we can check our hours. And let me go back a little bit. To get here, you can do the HTTPS, what's that, semicolon, or is that a colon? Excuse me. Anyway, you see what it is right here. Or you can go to irs.gov, go to Tax Pros, and then go to P10, and it'll take you to the screen as well. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to log in. It already has my email address and password in. So now what this is going to do, I'm going to click receive a code via email, and they're going to send me a 6-digit code to the email address that I have on file with them. All right. Now, if you're renewing your status, you should already have a P10 account set up. What you will want to be mindful of is what email address they have on file for you. And sometimes what will happen is the email will go to spam. So I don't want you all up in my email, and I don't know if I have any client information. So I'm not going to pull up my email on this screen, but I am going to check it on my phone. Okay. So I just got that. And because this is going to only be valid for 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and type it in here, what they gave me. So that's validating. Cool beans. I have items to review. I can almost guarantee that message is telling me that I need to renew my P10. I'm going to do that later. So what I want to actually take a look at right now is continuing education credits. All right. So remember, they want to know how many I have for federal tax law, how many I have for federal tax law updates, and how many I have for ethics. So this year, as of right now, I have 4 total for ethics. So I'm going to go back here, and this is year 3. Oops, let me go down here. I have 4 ethics credits. All right. I'm going to go back over here. For federal tax law updates, I have 3. For federal tax law, I have 38. So that is a total of 41. So I'm going to put the 41 here. All right. So now I'm going to go back to the P10 screen, scroll up, and I'm going to switch the year. Huh. I don't really went back that far. Anyway, don't want to get distracted here. So for federal tax law, I have 43. For federal tax law updates, I have 3. So I'm going to put 46. And then for ethics, I also had 4. Can never be too safe with ethics, right? Might as well take more than what's required. And different people teach things in different ways. And ethics can be so broad and vague just because it's not really black and white, right? Well, in some situations it is. But I would recommend looking at ethics as it concerns pricing, as it concerns handling different tax matters and situations. So that's why I typically take 2 or more classes in ethics each year. And keep in mind, all of them are not eligible for CE. All right, so federal tax law for 2021, I had 31. Federal tax law updates, I had 4. So that's going to put me at 35 here. For ethics, I have 4. All right, so all in all, I had 134 over the past 3 years, which is cool because I'm only required to have 72. So here, I am going to put this information in. However, I don't really know you guys on the internet that well. So I'll go over part 2 before I actually fill it out. So you need the last 4 digits of your social security number, your enrollment number, which can be found on your card that the IRS mails to you. The card that says enrollment to practice before the Internal Revenue Service. It should have your name, issue date, expiration date, and then right above the IRS logo, it'll have a number that ends in -EA, right? Then on here, I'm not known as America's favorite EA, so I'll just have the Timalyn Bowens there. And then I will have my home address because that is what I use to register. Then you need your CAF number, EIN information. All right. And then they're going to ask you some questions. Now, right now, I'm going to fill out this part and I will be right back to go over the questions with you. Okay? All right, now that I have that part done, let's look at these questions. Are you current with individual and business taxes, including any corporate and employment tax obligations? If no, provide a written explanation. Now, right here, if you have filed everything and you do have a tax debt, but you have some type of payment arrangement set up, you can still put yes. All right. Now, if you owe and you don't have anything set up, you need to be able to type an explanation here. All right. If you're an enrolled agent, but tax representation or setting up installment agreements and things isn't really your thing, you can check out my podcast, Tax Relief with Timalyn Bowens. Episode 10, I talk about installment agreements. Or if you qualify for a guaranteed payment plan, but you don't know how to set that up, I have an ebook on americasfavoriteea.com called Guaranteed Payment Plan. And it gives you the phone number to call as well as what to say to set up that agreement on the phone. Or because you already have an irs.gov account, you can go ahead and set it up online and it'll walk you through that. All right. So have you been sanctioned by a federal or state licensing authority? No, thank goodness. Has any application you filed with the court, government department, commission, or agency for admission to practice ever been denied? Not for me. Have you ever been convicted of a tax crime or any felony? No, sir. Have you been permanently enjoined from preparing tax returns or representing others before the IRS? I have not. Are you a CPA? Not at this time. Are you an attorney? No. So then here you're signing or agreeing that under penalties of perjury, I declare that I have examined this application and to the best of my knowledge and belief, it is true, accurate, and complete. So here's where you would put your P10 number. Again, because I don't know you guys like that. What I'm going to do instead of coming back, I'm just going to pause the share just so you don't actually see what I'm putting right there. And I'm going to put my P10 number in. which of course is going to start with a P. Then I'll put the number, but you may have actually seen it when I got on the P10 screen. I don't know. Let me put this in real quick. All right. And then you can view the PDF of the form, or you can hit continue, which I'm going to hit continue. All right. And it does give a warning. It says you entered in blah, blah, blah as your enrollment number. Please double check that that is correct. Click cancel to correct enrollment number. Click OK to continue. I'm clicking OK. Now, let me resume share. You're going to enter in your payment information. For me, it's going to be a debit card. So I'm going to hit next. The amount is $140. Ah! I don't want you guys to have my address, but you do now if you saw it quickly. Anyway, I'm going to talk you through this process. It's just like making a payment anywhere else. Fortunately, it didn't have the numbers for my address, so there is that. Let's see. So yeah, you need to make sure you have your address that's associated with the card. Then you can type in your information, which I'm doing now. I'm just not showing you guys. Of course, you need the expiration information. All right, so I got that typed in. I'm going to review and submit my payment. Everything looks good on this side. You do need to make sure that you authorize a charge to the card, and they want your email address, but if you want to make sure the receipt goes somewhere else, like you have your own bookkeeper that keeps track of everything for you, you want to make sure that you add their email address as well. So there is a spot where you can enter multiple email addresses. You just need to make sure you put a comma in between your email address and theirs. All right, before I scroll down this page, let me make sure none of my other personal information is here before I share it with you guys. Okay, I think I'm good. So once you've done everything, here's my payment confirmation. The confirmation I just submitted, enrolled agent renewal form 8554. If you need any help, this is the phone number that you would call about this. Now, I do believe they say to wait at least 90 days after you've submitted this, like if it's not popping up. Because just think about it. Every enrolled agent whose social security ends with a 789, or they don't have one, is submitting their renewal right now. All right, so you do need to give it a little bit of time to process. My current card doesn't expire until March 31st, 2024. So I'm not too concerned about it. I just wanted to go ahead and make sure I had it knocked out in time and not wait last minute so I don't have any lapse where I'm not authorized to do any representation, okay? If you found this video helpful, let me know down in the comments. If you know an EA that needs to renew their license, please make sure that you share. On this channel, I do have content helping taxpayers that either owe or that's going to help prevent them from owing, but I do also have information that's going to help my EA family as well. If that's you, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and let me know what other kind of content that you would like to see.